Hey guys, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeeves, and yes, I am on my break, and like I said, I was going to release some of the videos I did earlier this year from Patreon. So here's a reaction I think you're really going to super dig. Brand new band too. Never had this on my channel. Alright guys, aloha. So let's do this. Aviations, Outliers, Retrospect. Alright.
Second to look, be afraid of what we retook. See the light inside, hurry yourself, confide a life worth living.
Man, there is so much going on here. The complexity of the arrangements are, it's not over complex, but the complexity of decisions that were made in the arrangements are very fully loaded. At the beginning, it sounded like there was actually three. I see one guitar player, I see one bass player, drummer, vocalist. So it seems like there were at least three guitar overdubs that were at the beginning. Beautiful arrangements, different sounds in the guitars. At least that's what it sounded like. I heard an acoustic and then maybe like a clean, electric acoustic sound, and another one that was kind of having an arpeggiation on this side. Anyhow, this guy's voice is absolutely stunning. The blend and the hybrid composition going from this very mellow, ethereal, wide open passage into this heavier arrangement. I think, this is a long song. This is 11 minutes. It's showing me the depth in which these guys are going, especially listening to the piano arrangements and stuff. Even though there's a lot of unison stuff that's going on, which are notes that are, the bass is playing the guitar, piano and stuff. Having the piano in there, I think I know what I'm in for. I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna save what I have to say for the end of this video, because I really want to catch the whole vibe of this. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna miss certain elements to be able to pop off and tell you, but I'm gonna try to listen through this whole thing without having to stop. But it's incredible piece of work so far. So stand by here. I'll go back a little bit.
Spirit has endured this pain for far too long. Really calculated lies. Stay, thoughts are going rationality. Breathe,
sorry, didn't make it. I had to stop. That unison in playing the piano and the guitar in that solo and that melodic line, or the melodic lead, was wonderful. This is now an exposition to me of precision in composition. What I mean by that is there's just no two ways about it, that every single one of these musicians, especially the singer, are extremely powerfully capable of doing whatever they want. Usually that's where the trick comes in, is that you can do so much. What do you do to deliver a piece of music that's actually palatable and you can listen to, and they themselves feel satisfied when they say, okay, let's master and out, and export and get it out to the public. I'm in my mind, if you can imagine, I'm reading music. I'm looking at what this looks like in a chart and stuff, but it is just, I'm still kind of fumbling for the right things to say, but the precision of what I'm hearing is just absolutely wonderful. And this is the first time I've ever heard of this band, Aviations, and it's definitely not going to be the last song I do from them. But that unison melodic lead was just absolutely wonderful. And then once again, when you go back to the guy's voice, those big, fat, rich harmonies are intense. I'm going to assume that each and every one of these guys have a very rich education in composition. Doesn't mean that they took theory and anything. A lot of us don't use theory or anything of it, at least intentionally, when we do compositions. We just hear in our head all of these colors, all of these sounds, and hopefully come up with something great. And these guys definitely have. So let's go back a little bit.
You've done nothing wrong, though. You can't hide from cold. Don't let yourself go. Allow the tide to turn in. Dare not let the lights win. All of trees must proceed to be on this planet to distant thoughts that tribute to passion from you. Passion from you. Passion from you. There goes my eyes. There won't be a place without sun, with a wind heart to run. There goes my eyes. Second just to see, free these memories, buried in your self-confide. Our spirit has endured this pain for far too long. Though accomplishments that signify the end of shaken and mistaken times, play on thoughts, leave this tame society. But who are we to build this soul with hands of steel? Bring me back to
Man, I am completely floored. Absolutely beautiful piece of work. Absolutely stunning. There's not enough that, for me to do a reaction. I think I just gave you my full reaction of this instead of breaking this down. You can't break this down arrangement by arrangement. I'll be here for 2 hours. And even then, I'll miss things because it was so intense. It was so well written. But here's the one thing that I have to kind of bring up about this. My uncle had done an album. It was like a top 20 in the jazz world in like 91, where he had a suite with different movements in them, and they were like 12 minutes, 14 minutes and stuff like that. And those kind of compositions really, and those kind of albums really are from the heart, from the soul, very passionate, just like this. And one of the things, though, that for me is kind of like, wow, I wish the world as a whole would really have the ability to experience that. And what I mean is not the ability to experience it because it's not available to the public, but by the listening capabilities of, let's just say, the world at large, that are programmed to listen to 3 and 4 minute songs with multiple hooks, and it's this, it's this kind of, dare I say, Pavlovian fed, here's what a song should, you should have this, and this. There were probably 5 different song structures in this piece. And what I mean by that is by the dynamic changes that they made in their arrangements, that God, that one chunk right there could have been, you could have taken that out for 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, and made it a song in of itself. They kind of showed a little bit of that here at the very end here, where they went, I think, for like 4 minutes once the vocals came back in. That felt more like a complete piece when I think about it in that way. As a body of work, the journey was incredible, you know. And but gosh, I don't want to be that guy. There is a obviously a much smaller audience, you know, for this kind of incredible musicianship, music composition, and arrangements. There were strings in there. There were, you know, overdubs with the Celeste, it sounded like, or glockenspiel, bells, and so many beautiful pieces of arrangements and works in there. The musicianship is unquestioned. The drumming was absolutely fantastic. Bass playing, everything. Excuse me, guitar, vocals. But as a piece of work, these guys should be, and I'm sure I'm going to find many other pieces of work, so absolutely over the moon pumped at finishing this and releasing this. It was unbelievable. I just wish the rest of the world had the listening stamina for something like this, because this is not necessarily, you know, put this on at a party while you're hanging out. This is like a listening session vibe for me. Like, go get your scotch, your whatever it is that you chill with, and you really soak that in, you know. And obviously these guys are incredibly trained musicians and composers as well. Sometimes what happens is you write that kind of music where other incredibly trained and composers and stuff will so enjoy this. And that's why since I don't know any other of their catalog, something like this, for me, just, I don't know. I just wish the rest of the world at large had like I already said it twice, the capacity, you know. But maybe that's why me as a composer, them as musicians, those of you who are musicians who got this, you know, and some of you who are just the pure listeners that got this, that means you are so, you know, vested in listening to a piece of work, and it's not just background noise in the car or MTV back in the days or whatever. You know, this is that kind of piece. It was just brilliantly written, and that's all I can say about that. I feel like Forrest Gump in the movie when he goes, "That's all I got to say about that." But anyhow, well, thank you very much. This was an incredible experience. It really makes me so pumped that music is being pushed in this capacity. It really does. I mean, it was a great experience for me. All right, guys, take care. Aloha.
All right.